Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I have Lenovo's flagship gaming laptop, the Legion 9i. And I can't wait to dive in. This thing is packed with top specs, and honestly, it's probably the most powerful laptop I've ever used. So what exactly makes the Legion 9i special? Well, inside we have an Intel i9 processor, RTX 4090 graphics, with a mini LED display. So this isn't just your everyday gaming laptop, this is for people who want to go all out. And I'm not just talking Call of Duty, since you can play that on like a 4050. That's light work for this laptop. So I'm talking more of your single player AAA games like Cyberpunk, God of War, things like that. So we will take a look at some games and see how this laptop performs. But a quick disclaimer is Lenovo did send this over as a review unit. No money exchanged hands, and they don't get to see this video before anyone else. So you are going to get my first impressions of this laptop that we are about to unbox. So now let's dive into the unboxing and see what this laptop is all about. First off, the box is what you would expect. We have Legion right across the side, Lenovo here. It's a pretty hefty box. It's hard for me to get the full box in frame, but it's about what's inside that really matters. Okay, so the laptop is in here. We have this black box. Again, Legion pretty much looks the same, just a smaller version of the big box. So we have this like forged carbon design. I wasn't too sure what I was going to think about it, but that looks really nice. So we'll put that to the side. That definitely feels hefty, but in here, your typical books that no one really goes through. So we can put all of this to the side. And in here will be the charging cable. So let's take a look at that. This is going to be a pretty hefty one. Okay, this way. Okay, so we have a 330 watt power brick, which makes sense for a laptop rocking a 4090. So that's that. Oh, and then we have, of course, Lenovo's proprietary connection. We see that in basically all of their gaming laptops. A couple different cables. I'm a little confused. Hold on. So we have two chargers? So this one's 140 watt USB-C. Interesting. I did not expect this. I obviously expected the large power brick, but I'm assuming maybe if you want to use it more of like a creative laptop, take it somewhere and not have to use the dedicated GPU, then you would use this power brick. I'm a little perplexed, I'm gonna be honest. Now, what is in here? Hold on. So in here, what is this? Remove and install keycaps. Very interesting. Wow, okay. This is a whole experience here. I've never seen anything like that. But again, this is the most powerful laptop I have unboxed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see like what this is all about. That's cool. This is what I was expecting. This not so much, but anyway, well, I digress. Let's move on. Okay, so here we are. It is a 16-inch laptop. It definitely feels solid. I don't know the exact weight. I think it's 5 point something pounds, but it definitely feels solid in the hand. This this design is really nice. I don't know why they do that. I don't know, but it looks really cool. Here it looks like 1080p, so probably the webcam up there. Similar to the Legion 7i that I've unboxed previously, we have a lot of connections in the back. So we have an RJ45, so an Ethernet cable. If you are playing some heavy titles and you want a solid connection, I guess maybe even streaming, that would make sense. Should be a USB-A port, a Thunderbolt 4, HDMI, and then your power connector there. On this side, we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and is that a full SD card slot? Yep. Wow, looks like we have a full SD card slot. And on this other side, we have another USB-A, USB-C. I don't think this one is power in, it's just for cable. You can't charge on that one, so not Thunderbolt 4. And then you have the camera shutter. So if you want to turn off the camera so no one's peeping at you, that's where you do it. Overall, pretty good ports. That tells me that obviously this is a hardcore spec'd up gaming laptop, but since we have that SD card slot, that tells me this is also made for creators, which is nice. They can definitely utilize that 4090, or I guess maybe if you're doing 3D modeling or anything like that. I'm not really versed in that, so I just assume that this would be powerful enough. But anyway, so here we are. We have some paperwork. All right, so here it is. So we have a large speaker grill here, so that tells me, hopefully, that the speakers on this laptop are going to be better than your average. I don't think any one laptop has like the best speakers ever, but we have a lot going on there. Our keys feel pretty standard for what you would get on Lenovo laptops. Good key travel. I love the key travel on Lenovo's. That is my unbiased opinion, even though they sent this out. They just have really comfortable laptops. Trackpad, kind of smaller than what you would typically get, but it makes sense because they have everything kind of shifted down. Then we have your number pad here. I know for most gamers, they don't like the number pad. They'd rather have just the regular keyboard shifted into the middle. Personally, I like the number pad just outside of gaming, just productivity. So for me, it's a win, I guess, but the average consumer has voiced that they don't really like that. So let me know if you like that number pad there on your gaming laptop, or if you would prefer just your basic keyboard shifted over. Let's turn this on. And immediately, wow, that RGB. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Can I turn off my lights real quick? You can see that RGB down here. That looks really nice. Definitely flashy. Let's see the back. Okay, so this lights up too. And there are lights in the back. Okay, so we have a ribbon, I guess you could call it, that, okay, doesn't go on the side, but I think, so it's in the front and in the back, giving you that RGB lighting. Look at that, that just looks cool. I assume you can turn that off. So I would say this is definitely a flashy gaming laptop. If you were to take this out, let's say to a coffee shop, you're gonna do some work, this is gonna stand out. This is gonna stand out. It's not necessarily bad. It just depends if you care about that or not. Maybe going to a coffee shop, you just don't want the attention, so you would take another laptop, but this screams gamer, and not in a bad way. I mean, for the price you're paying, I think this particular one runs at like 3,500 USD, which is more than my mortgage, I will tell you that. let's dive in. I'm going to download a couple games so we can test the gameplay, see how this works, because when you have these specs, like I mentioned earlier, you're not just wanting to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty you can play on a 4050. You don't need anything high-end to play Call of Duty or Warzone, anything like that. What sets this laptop apart is wanting to play like Cyberpunk, and you're going to have your maxed out settings. You want all of the graphics. You want to be able to see all the detail, especially with this screen. I don't know if this is doing it justice. This screen is gorgeous. It's a mini LED, but it's not glossy, so it still has, I don't know, like a matte texture. If you have basically any gaming laptop that's non-OLED, you know what I'm talking about. So we have that display, I guess, but with a mini LED. So the colors are really vibrant. They are so nice. To me personally, they are up there with OLED. Obviously, your blacks are going to be a bit deeper on an OLED panel. But the good thing about mini LED is if you are worried about burn-in, which some people are, getting a mini LED, you won't have to worry about that. You're going to get some great colors and not have to worry about burn-in. So that is an added bonus. I think this goes up to 165 hertz, which is on par for a gaming laptop. But on paper, the screen goes up to 1200 nits, which is pretty bright for just a standard laptop. Now, it's not the brightest ever, but most gaming laptops like the Legion 7i has like 500 nits, 500, 600, that's kind of around the ballpark that you see typically. So to have 1200 nits on this display, that is kind of crazy to me. Let me know if that's crazy to you. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop rambling on. Let me download some games and see how that performs. Okay, so we're gonna start with Cyberpunk. Take a look at settings. Our graphics are currently set at ultra, just to kind of see what that looks like. For the laptop performance, we're currently running on auto. In Lenovo Vantage, you can adjust what type of performance mode, whether it's balance, which is the auto, performance, or quiet. So we'll take a look at what the auto looks like. And for games like Cyberpunk, where they are just your single player games, graphics is going to be the most important thing. Versus, playing something like Call of Duty, you want to get the highest frames per second that you can. These type of games is not necessarily that. You want visual quality over, not necessarily performance, but, those FPS. So right now we're looking at 50 FPS. Okay, but overall, this looks really good. Again, we're looking at high 40s, low 50s roughly. And again, this is at ultra settings, so that's pretty good.
Don't see any movement on the sensors. Looks Looks like you got him. Clear to go. Where the hell's the target? Look around. Gotta be there somewhere. Got her target. You make it? She alive?
Okay.
Hey, jack the pro bottom on. Need to know what we're dealing with. Checking in.
Does not look good.
Standard doors. You leave.
Okay, I am going to quickly change the settings from do preset. I'll do medium, see what that changes things to.
Hey, need to know what's going on. Jackie, your rifle. Oh, stop.
Catch, Chica!
Okay, so about 80 frames per second. GPU running about 95%. Temps have been really good. They've been steadily in the about like this mid 60s Celsius. So the cooling on this laptop, I mean, the fans are really going. So yeah, this looks really good. What do you think? For those who have played Cyberpunk, since this is kind of an older game, how does the performance compare? I think this looks really good. Personally, I don't really play Cyberpunk too often. That's why you see me in like the beginning of the game mode, but Cyberpunk is the pinnacle of checking performance in just gaming in general, just because of the graphics and everything that it entails. So the fact that it's able to run really well is a testament to this, I guess you could say, top tier gaming laptop. I mean, at this price point, you don't expect anything less, if I'm being honest. So I am happy with the performance. Again, at medium, we're getting in the 90s FPS, but with these type of games, frames per second isn't really anything to worry about. You can play this game comfortably at 30 frames per second. It's really just about the graphics. But you get that 4090 and you tie it in with this mini LED, it is gorgeous. And I know it's really hard to see the screen on this video, just especially because I am just running OBS, just so you can get clear visuals on the game stats, if you will. But overall, first impressions, this is definitely a beastly laptop. So I'm going to quit Cyberpunk and then let's try a different one. Okay, so now we're going to play God of War Ragnarok, which just came out recently on PC. I think like back in September. So while this isn't a new game, it's new to PC. So we'll see how that plays. Starting off, quality is just automatically set to medium. That's the default setting. We'll go ahead and go with that. I'm not going to change anything. We're still running auto performance on the laptop itself. Oh, and it is important to note that the laptop is plugged in. So you are going to get the best performance with a Windows laptop when it's plugged in. But this looks really nice. Medium settings, we're getting, I guess, mid 70s for those frames per second. GPU running at 99%. Still, those temps are in the 60s. I've been... running the games for quite a bit. Even before recording, I was just kind of testing things out a little bit. And while those fans are kicking, yeah, it's definitely doing its job for sure.
Brother, I'm quite certain he never came inside.
Mm. And it's honestly kind of hard to pay attention on what I'm supposed to be doing in the game while trying to look at all the metrics and talk about the performance. So I apologize that I'm just running around aimlessly, but you get the gist. This is what it looks like.
You crawl through here. You seem troubled in your sleep, even for you. Nightmares? I dream of the past. Almost every night. Ah, the bad old days in Greece? No. It feels like phase. Trying to tell me something. You don't mean to say you're talking to ghosts again, brother? No. But it is something more than memory. Use your words, brother. The tracks stop here.
Yeah, this looks really good.
And we're not alone.
And again, I am using OBS to record this. I hope that the game audio is kind of coming through. I apologize if it's not. If anything, I'll just put regular music in the background, but I do apologize in advance if there is no gameplay, but I mean, you can kind of guess what's happening. Okay, so low 80s so far with this frames per second, which is pretty good for a AAA title like this.
Attention state. There's a tree up ahead, yeah? Well, you're right. Stay this building. Explains our trespassers. What happened here? The bear. Maul. I won. The larger bear. Wounded. The fight destroyed the tree. We must find Atreus. Aye. Between the savage beasts and marauding raiders, he may have sought shelter. Follow the trail. We'll find him. Ah, need a way around. Aha!
I'm gonna put this laptop into performance mode just to see if that changes things. I mean, it should in theory, but oh yeah. Okay, we've got at least an extra 10 to 15 FPS. So that is pretty good. I mean, that's what this laptop's gonna be for. Those power users who want to basically get all of the performance from these type of games. Not to say it's going to be equivalent to like playing on a console, but it's close. Because a lot of times when you're playing on PC, these type of games, because this one obviously is a Sony game, you can get it on PlayStation. It's been out on PlayStation for a while now. You're going to get that crisp, gameplay on a console. Whereas like your settings on a PC might have to just downgrade a little bit. But with this type of laptop, you are playing a pretty penny, so you definitely want to get this type of performance out of it, and luckily, I mean, you do so far.
any idea what would have made the line one at all.
Where are you? He accuses me of breaking something.
Okay, with the fans are a little bit louder now, which definitely makes sense now that we're on performance.
That is why church must hurt.
I hope you can hear me over the fans. I'm gonna have to like isolate my voice or something.
That's because the guy had you dead on some wall full of... Otherwise, I would have Well,
But gaming on this is definitely an experience. You see all the RGB lighting. It's definitely a cool vibe for sure. And I mean, at least I think so. The the RGB like on the bottom showing on the desk, it is really cool. If I do like a full review, obviously I'll showcase that a little bit better. Whereas this is a little bit focused more so on the gameplay of it, giving the first impressions, but I would say my favorite thing has to be this display. I know I loved the Legion 7i when I got it, but that was just a regular IPS panel. This is gorgeous. All right, so yeah, this is definitely impressive. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But let me know down in the comments what questions you have about this laptop. Anything you want me to test out in general. Do you have this laptop? Are you considering upgrading your laptop to something this hefty? Again, the price point is pretty steep. I will put a link to the laptop down in the description if you want to check it out. I think they have it like at B&H. Not too sure. Best Buy, but I will link it below with all of the specs. I want to say this has 32 gigs of RAM as well, which I mean is pretty standard in like the higher gaming laptops. Even the Legion 7i I had 32 gigs, so nothing too crazy there. Okay, but anyway, like I said, I'm gonna stop rambling on. Let me know in the comments what kind of questions you have. But that is gonna conclude this unboxing. Thank you for watching. If you stuck this long in the video with me, please comment below a little game controller icon so I know who my true subscribers or my true fans are. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!